Have you ever noticed how often you say yes when your heart is screaming, no? You bend over backwards, you silence your needs. You keep giving and hoping that one day it will finally return to you. Your goodwill, your love, your care, your comfort. But it never feels enough because all you've been doing is a performance to an audience who cannot truly see you. And that silent erosion of yourself is what is called self-abandonment. In this video, we're going to talk about the difference between self-abandonment and self-sacrifice because there's a world of difference between them. I'm going to show you how self-abandonment plays out in your real life and why it deeply matters to your faith and to your future. This is episode 2 of the Self-Mastery series. Hi everyone, my name is Anne Okoro. I'm a conflict resolution specialist, professional counselor, lawyer, military wife, mom of boys, and most importantly, God's co-creator. I help people resolve their internal conflicts so that they can build peace in their lives and in their relationships. So if you want to thrive and not just survive, you need to stick around. Self-abandonment is when you betray yourself for the comfort and approval of others. You trade your voice, needs, worth, just to keep the peace and to keep people. But the danger in doing this is that the more you abandon yourself, your capacity to see yourself and embrace yourself as first a human being, a creation of divinity, one of a kind masterpiece, that goes on to affect how you truly receive the love of others and even God. It is part of our nurturing and culture, especially as Nigerians, I would say, where you are encouraged to look out for the good of others, but most times not really yourself. It's almost as if you look at yourself a bit too much, then it becomes idolatry. Idolatry. And I see rhetorics around, if you are self-absorbed, you lose the capacity to see God. You lose the capacity to see other people. How about we start teaching people first and foremost how to see themselves, to value themselves as children of God, to value themselves as human beings. Because if I'm to value you as a human being first, what happens to me? Because when push comes to shove, people, generally speaking, people would choose themselves over you. And if that is the case, perhaps you need to learn how to choose yourself and not abandon yourself for the approval, acceptance, and love of others. And what is beautiful about this is that neuroscience backs this up. There's something called self-referential processing. Basically, this is how your brain thinks about you. When it's clouded with shame and suppression, your brain literally struggles to accept love as yours. Even when someone or God pours out their love towards you, you will struggle to accept that as being for you. It is at this place that I understand what Jesus meant when he said, we should be as these little ones as children. Have you noticed that kids show up authentically? A child will never abandon themselves for the needs of others. Now, eventually they would learn how to share, how to take a step back when necessary, maybe for their younger ones, or if it's just not the right time. However, a child authentically, by nature, remember I talked about earlier, I mentioned what we learn by nurture. By nature, children do not abandon themselves. And so it makes me now understand, when Jesus says, be as these little ones, it covers this. Because if I am not able to truly see myself, then how am I really going to believe that I am made in the image and likeness of God, divinity? How am I to truly believe that I am one of a kind masterpiece? Now that is what self-abandonment does. And this comes through nature, comes through our experiences with other people and with life. That slowly we begin to silence our voices. We begin to keep our own needs behind because we want to please other people. And that just makes me think that, isn't it just sad that as a people, we do not see, we miss out on what is important? Because a truly functioning self is one that can go out to love other people truly and authentically. So let's have everyday examples of how self-abandonment shows up, because we've been talking about it and maybe you're lost. Like, okay, what does it really look like? Because all I think is that I am just, making a few sacrifices here and there. I don't leave myself entirely. At least I go home with myself after relating with other people. It looks like this at work. You take on the extra work, even though you're drowning. You don't want to say no because you're just scared that you will look incompetent or you would look like less of a team player. In your family, you go along with certain decisions that others have made because, you don't want to look difficult or a talkative or someone who just knows it all. ITK, I too know. Meanwhile, deep inside, you know that decision they're about to make is not sound. You probably have science or math or whatever it is deep inside to back it up. But because you're scared that you don't want to look like the black sheep, then you sacrifice your voice. In your relationships, it could look like this: forgiving. And I put it in quotes because what we think about forgiveness, of letting go and never talking about the thing, is not really what forgiveness is about. That is like an entire issue around, even apology languages that we deal with another day. But you forgive someone and never bring it up, even though your heart is aching. You know that you as a person, you would love to address the issue. Please, can we sit and have a talk? But no, because you don't want to lose that man, or because you don't want to lose that woman, because you don't want to have them take away the love that you've worked so hard for. You've been a good girl, you've been a good boy. Because you don't want to lose all of that, you keep quiet, and they've hurt you deeply, and you say, oh no. The Christian noble moral thing to do is to forgive, is to let it go. Meanwhile, resentment is building. Like, you can feel the anger in your throat, as if you were to throw up, we would just see the word resentment come out of you. The moment you choose to show up for yourself first, because you are human, you are worthy of love, you are worthy of attention and care. The moment you do that for yourself, other people then take a cue on how to treat you. But you have to do that first. If you treat yourself anyhow, I guess you know the answer. Other people are going to treat you anyhow. We educate and train people in how to treat us, believe it or not. And self-abandoning is not the best way to show another person how to treat you. Love yourself so that you can fully love another. Now, this is where the difference between self-abandonment and self-sacrifice comes in. Self-sacrifice is when you choose, so you make the decision. You don't allow another person to make the decision for you. You choose to let go of something that's important for you for a time being because you want something to work, or because you want to make another person feel valued and loved. There is no resentment attached to this, but peace. I'll give you examples. It's like a woman who is a career person deciding to leave her career so that she can take care of her young kids. As much as that can be even draining, but she has peace and she's not resentful towards her children because she knows that, number one, they didn't do anything to come to this world. They didn't beg you to come to this world, right? And they need her. Now, I don't want to go into where is the father, this one, I'm just giving you an example. Or rather, let me use myself. I am married to a military man. He's all over the place. There are times when he's in the bush. Am I expecting really that I strap the kids around him so that we can share the caregiving 50-50? Absolutely not. So I will do that. I will let go of some years of building my career so I can take care of these beautiful souls that fill me up with so much joy. That is self-sacrifice, and that is noble, and that is right. So here's the question I want you to carry today. When you find yourself in certain situations, you have to ask yourself, am I abandoning myself in this moment and choosing another person's happiness, sanity, joy over mine? And if the answer you get is yes, then you need to pause, reevaluate, re-strategize. In the next video, we're going to really talk about love. I like to believe we all desire to be loved and we all desire to give love. However, there are certain experiences of life that have colored how we do accept love and how we do give love. So next week, I'm going to unveil what some of these colors might look like. All right, everybody. It's such a delight for me to always come here to talk to you and help you see yourself better so that you can have a better relationship first with yourself and then with other people. Part of my work here is also to create a community of people who can come together and encourage one another and lift each other up. So if you're interested, my details is down in the description box. Just send me a message and we'll get that ball rolling. All right, everybody. It's nice having you. See you next week. Bye.